Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to have you again. Some week ago in a visual meeting, Obasanjo, the former president of Nigeria, registered his displeasure at the current state of the nation under Buhari's administration. He spoke extensively about the issue of mismanaging the country's socio-economic development. He went further to say that all fault lines that were disappearing have opened up under Buhari, and went further to say that hatred, disintegration, and separation are being heard loud and clear almost everywhere, which Nigerians can attest to it. We've seen the issues that have been happening. You've heard Biafra is really coming so strong concerning the issue of secession, and now Duduwa had also queued behind him. So what he's saying is not even wrong. But guess what? The presidency have decided to react to it. And according to the spokesman, that's the spokesperson to President Buhari, he said that Obasanjo has made several attempts to divide the nation while Buhari continued to promote unity and nation building. According to his word, he said, and I quote, "Say the difference is clear. From the lofty height of Commander-in-Chief, General Obasanjo has descended to the lowly level of Divider-in-Chief to adapt the coinage of time." And he went further also to say that the recent uptick in the number of such leaders proposing to do or actually carrying on in office beyond term limit is sufficient to cause concern among Democrats in the sub-region, given the prospect of destabilizing the state and the region. He said that President Buhari's advocacy is consistent with his principle and in line with the current policy of his administration, and indeed that of the ECOWAS Charter, which is that term limit must be respected and that the change of government is only permissible through the ballot box. Having cleared this misconception, we hope that Chief Obasanjo would once again shield the sword and raise the pretentiousness about the Messiah that has misled him to pronounce, often wrongly, as he disastrously did in the 2019 election, about the life and death of Nigerian governments. The presidential spokesperson advised Obasanjo to follow the advice of some commentators who argued that the ex-president, in accordance with his mantra as a statesman, should get involved with problem solving when and where they exist rather than promoting a poisonous atmosphere. Shegu said Obasanjo disappointed his local and foreign admirers by showering commendation on a few extremist groups who have vowed to shun the invitation to the National Assembly to participate in the process of constitutional amendment. He said Buhari's government has improved the country's infrastructural development, adding that the president also repaired damaged relations with neighbors and traditional allies, including the UK, US, China, Russia, France, Germany, Saudi Arabia, among others. According to him, he said it's a known fact that the withdrawal of subsidy has been on the wish list of the Obasanjo-led People Democratic Party (PDP). They failed in achieving these measures because, one, there was a sheer greed. They plundered the treasury as much as anyone could in the name of either subsidy or waiver with reckless impunity. Nigeria, which other nations had mocked and ridiculed for so many things that were wrong, is today progressing at a pace reflecting the size and potential. My brother, don't make me laugh. Oh. He went further to say, with so much to show and many more coming, it is a little surprise that President Buhari would be the object of envy and harsh unfair challenges by politicians who fail to deliver, but continue to nurse ambition of delighting the audience long after their curtain have been drawn. There have also been reaction from the person of Lai Mohammed, who is the minister of information and culture. And according to his response, he made Nigerians to understand what this country really stand for. In a statement on Sunday, He said that Buhari assumed office at a time that the swath of the country's territory was under occupation, and many cities, including the capital city of Abuja, were a playground for Boko Haram insurgents. Lai Mohammed, who reeled the leadership of the opposition as rapacious and rudderless, said that until now the nation's well has been looted dry with little or nothing to show for the nation's huge earning, especially in the area of infrastructure. He described as cruel irony that those who fritter away the country's resources at a time of financial buoyancy and planted the seed of insecurity in some part of the country were the same people now lodging at the reformist Nigeria government. He said that Nigeria today faces a lot of challenges, but whatever situation the country has found itself in, things would have been much worse but for the deft management of resources, unprecedented fight against corruption, a determined battle against insurgency and banditry, as well as the abiding courage of Mr. President in plotting the ship of the or piloting the ship of the state. Nigeria today is not a failed state, but a nation that is courageously tackling its challenges and building a solid infrastructure that will serve as the basis for socio-economic development. A nation that is unrelenting in battling insecurity and working hard to ensure greatest prosperity for the greatest number of the people. And he went further to scorn opposition for hyping the instance of insecurity in the country, insisting the country could have been overrun by insurgents and bandits had President Buhari not rallied regional and international allies to retard the insurgents who at a time controlled an estimated 20,000 square meters of the nation's territory and were recklessly bombing many targets without check. And he said a lot of things which for me it doesn't really add up, and I wouldn't want to read some of this reaction because it's almost a repetition of what the presidential spokesperson had said. But it's one of the most ideal way that you can use in knowing your performance as a government or as a leader is for you to go down the street and ask the common man what is the effect of this government in your life. What do you think? How can you rate this government in terms of different indexes? You make mention of different security, basic amenities, infrastructure, and the like. The people are the one to score you, and not the people, not your cabinet. Your cabinet does not have any right to score you. It's the people. You can take a random sample of like 36 people, go to 36 states randomly, ask questions, and you'll be shocked that Nigerians are totally disappointed with the way things are going. We're not saying that the government is not doing all in its power to help the country out of its current situation, but the truth is that their best is not even good enough. Unfortunately, one of the things that I notice in Nigerian government is that whenever people come on board to lead, it's like they seem not to be, seeing what is actually happening. They seem to fall short of the true state of the nation and all of that. Look at the issue of insecurity. Look at how everyone is getting so scared. We are having multiple militia group coming up, multiple insurgencies coming up. Now we have one that is frightening a lot of people in Lagos State. There's another one that it has already come up so strong in Benue State. We have them littered all over the place, and there is no moment where people are called to the round table for this whole issue to be sorted out once and for all. Things are happening that requires national attention. What I mean by national attention, I'm not talking about paper or media talk. I'm talking about the presidency coming on board to tell Nigerians, hey, I know how you guys feel. I can acknowledge the fact that this has happened. This has happened. This is what we have done, or possibly call for a meeting with the stakeholders, have a meeting with them, invite them, pay their transport down to Abuja and sit on a round table and talk. Listen to what they are going to say, allow them to proffer solutions, and then write on those solutions and bring a change to the country. Now, that are some of the things that we are not seeing in the current government. Now, we're talking about the issue of constitution amendment, a great one. But how about that national the report of the national conference that we had some years ago, where stakeholders from different quarters gathered together and made a very strong suggestion that would have changed the position of this country. The issue of restructuring was addressed then, and expectation was that all of that will be implemented. Now we're talking about another constitutional amendment, and it's now left in the hands of the lawmakers. They are now calling for Nigerians to bring in their own listing submissions to them, so that from the basis of that they can now amend the constitution. These guys have they are part of this government, and their minds are not that open for them to understand everything. But when you bring in people, experts from education, experts from technology, experts from different fields of endeavor, and put them together, security experts, and see how you can have a conference with them and talk about the issue of building a very strong solution structure for this country, everything will be fixed. Those are some of the things that nobody cares. You can't be talking about amendment when the stakeholders are not part of it. The stakeholders are not part of it. The next thing you go bring up something that Nigerians will just be mocking and laughing at you. These are some of the issues that we need to deliberately forget about. All this singing of, for me, this is self-congratulation. I tell you the whole truth. It's self-congratulation. Nigerians are the one to congratulate you, not you congratulating yourself. We can tell you thumbs up to this government when it comes to the issue of, well, they have helped a great deal. There are no more queues and all of that. But in security wise, we have failed. Look at the indexes that were released. Nigeria is the third most terrorized country in the world. Oh my God. Nigeria, how? In Africa, we are number one. The same thing when it comes to poverty. We are getting loans. It's not wrong for somebody to loan out money to you. But what is the big problem is that monies are being loaned out. But what are they using that money to do? We live in the hands of those who will still loot it. Look at what the report we got from NDDC. Look at some of the white elephant project that is littered everywhere. Now they're talking about the issue of hiking the price of oil. They've already hiked it, but for me, I understand what it really means. But guess what? This is a wrong time for you to do that. And now we've been pre-informed that Nigeria will be having in their own reserves, or will be making about 1 trillion naira from from the subsidy. In other words, the subsidies are not going to be released again. So Nigeria will have in its hand 1 trillion naira. What would that money be used for? I feel at this point that they should be using that money to fix our refineries and see how we can bring down the price of fuel, because we are the sole producers of this fuel. Why should it be going for so huge an amount? We know that, this will bring about competition, and this will also bring about possibly employment and the likes. The prices will be regulated by the operators and all of that. But what we are looking out for, the monies that are going to be held back in form of the subsidy, what will the government use it for? Nigerians want to see you come out, spell out this thing in black and white, and we see the next 1 year, this is what the government have been able to achieve because of the fact that we did not release, we refused to pay a subsidy and the likes. So that's what Nigerians are looking for. I feel at this point that we should forget about the issue of, say, this one is from PDP, this one is from APC. It's not important again. What we should be looking at right now is how to solve the problem of Nigeria, from the problem of this country. That's where I'd like to leave it. Go to our comment section. Let us interact. What do you have to say about the response of the presidency and also Lai Mohammed in respect to what Obasanjo said some few days ago?